It seems like the whole month of December I spend in my kitchen. And while I love it, by the end of the month it just gets a little bit tiring after all the baking and cooking and gatherings and festivities I've been getting ready for, and I seem to almost always forget about New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve parties are so fun to throw, but you've had so many heavy meals and parties to go to beforehand for Christmas that a lot of times it just seems like you kind of want to forget about New Year's. That's why I love to keep it simple, and this year I am serving 3 great crostinis at my New Year's Eve party. Crostinis are a perfect thing to serve before a meal if you just need appetizers, or you can make them a little bit more heavy and have them just as the perfect accompaniment with your drinks to be a meal throughout the evening. These crostinis are perfect for anything, and I think you're gonna love them. To start, they all use the same type of bread and base for each one. It's a simple baguette that I try to buy from a good bakery because a good baguette makes all the difference. I slice it thinly, about 1/4 inch, and then I just brush both sides with a good olive oil. For a couple of the crostinis, I like to salt and pepper both sides of the bread just to give it a little bit of seasoning. But for the pear and ricotta one, I like to keep it plain. I just pop them to the oven to toast them up slightly and get them a little bit crispy, and then they're ready to make into the perfect crostinis. The first one is a delicious one with classic flavors but in a little bit updated way. To start, I just like to spread a thin layer of creme fraiche on a piece of baguette that's been toasted. Creme fraiche is so delicious. It's a lot like a cream cheese but has a little bit more tanginess to it. If you can't find creme fraiche at your grocer, don't worry, you can use cream cheese. It just adds something a little extra. On top of the creme fraiche, I like to place a few capers that have been drained. Capers are so delicious with these flavors, and they add a little bit of tangy brininess to it that I really like. On top, I like to place a few pieces of some good thinly sliced smoked salmon. If you can find a good meat market or grocer that has some fresh smoked salmon that has been brought in, that is the perfect way to go, and they can slice it thinly right up for you. If not, there are some great pre-packaged ones on the shelves now, and so choose a good one and you can use that. And then top it off with a few sprigs of fresh dill. These are classic flavors, but they are so delicious, and on top of this bread, it is the perfect crostini. The next crostini is a little bit more unique, but once it is put together, it is usually everyone's favorite. To start, I take some of my toasted baguette and then spread a thin layer of a good fig spread or fig jam on the bottom. I made mine homemade, and so of course I'm not expecting all of you to have a homemade fig spread. They are really plentiful anymore in grocery stores and usually are set really close to the cheese section. Dalmatia is a great brand if you are looking for one. On top of the fig spread, place a little slice of a good Brie cheese. I love to buy a double cream Brie. It is a little bit smoother and creamier and melts really well and has, I think, a little bit more subtle flavor. Just cut off the rind off the Brie and then place on a small amount on each crostini. Then I like to pop them back in the oven just to melt that Brie a little bit. On top of the melted Brie, place a thin slice of apple. I love to use Honeycrisp apples for everything. They are so delicious and have such a good crisp bite to them, and they are always sweet and juicy. On top of the apple, place a good thin piece of prosciutto. Prosciutto is so delicious to use in so many ways, and it really just caps this crostini off into the perfect bite. The final crostini is extremely simple, but all the flavors together really add something special. To start it off, just take one of your toasted pieces of baguette with no salt or pepper and place on some good ricotta cheese. Of course, the higher fat ricotta you use, the more flavor it will have, so you can choose which one you like to use. On top of the ricotta, place a good piece of ripened pear. Right now, red pears are extremely plentiful in my grocery stores, so they must be in season, and they are so delicious. They're a little bit more firm to the touch when they ripen and not so soft, but they are so sweet. On top of the thinly sliced pear, I like to just drizzle on some good local honey. And then finish it off with a little few pieces of rosemary. All these flavors together really add a great punch, and they are perfect for a dinner party. Crostinis are the perfect thing to serve for a party. Honestly, there really is no recipe needed, just a few simple ingredients. What I love is you can make as few or as many as you want depending on how the evening goes and how many people are there. You can have extra ingredients just ready to pop more into the oven or just put more together. Your guests are gonna love these 3 crostini. They're perfect to go with drinks on a great New Year's Eve, and I know you're gonna love them at your next gathering. Happy New Year's. Thanks for watching this video. To see more videos that you might enjoy, click over here, or click down here and subscribe to our channel to see all the great new videos we come out with each week. Can't wait to see you again.